Hello, ladies. How are you doing?
Great.
Wonderful, yourself?
Great, great. It's Friday. Who
Yay.
can complain? I'm having some peeps over for a cookout or something. We just made it through that horrible storm, Imelda, and I got
Yeah.
stuck going from my haircut place. Couldn't get home. Cop cars blocking every street. It was so flooded. It was just
Oh,
crazy.
We're
But it's
glad you said
beautiful, beautiful now. So we've got Tammy DeMersa. Hello, Tammy.
it.
And we've got Rebecca. And Rebecca, you're calling from Richardson, Texas.
okay.
We don't need to know your last name. Just
Okay.
Rebecca, I guess.
All right. That'll work.
Okay,
Been called
so
worse. So,
shall we begin? Who would like to start? Tammy, would you like to set this up and let us know what magic you're going to perform?
Yeah, what I want to do is help you, Rebecca, to shift in a belief system or a perception or an idea. And I'm teaching this workshop in Houston coming up soon where I teach you how to tap into the heart energy. What I call that sweet spot where you know your answers. You know it. Our biggest thing is not knowing, one, not knowing what we want, and two, not knowing how to get those answers. So if you want to present something and let me help you work through this, then this is not going to be a really long video. We're just going to do some work with you just to introduce people, to let them see how it works. And Rebecca, would you tell the audience just a little bit about yourself and how you met me and Elisa?
okay. Well, my name is Rebecca. I'm 50. I'm going through a divorce, kind of a hard time.
You are
It's pretty
what?
devastating. Going
You're
through a
not 50?
divorce.
Wait,
Yeah.
She
what?
does not look 50 years old.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. I thought you were in your 20s. Tell me
Oh.
your secret. Oh my God. I mean, seriously?
No, no.
Oh man, I feel
Get up
old
close and
now.
you're like, oh, wait a minute. Never mind.
No, let me straighten out let me work on straightening out my neck wrinkles. Here we go. Okay, so you may proceed. You may proceed.
All this to follow you. Calm down.
God.
Oh, well, I've always been curious about paranormal things, and I stumbled across your website, channeling Eric. It kept popping up. He kept popping up, and finally, I was like, "What is this?" And popped in there, and I was like everybody else, just oh my gosh! And I just molested it to death, and found Tammy through that, and that's kind of the gist of it. Where that's the short story. Yeah.
Okay.
So. Yeah, and just a lot of going through a lot of different changes, starting over at 50. Just
Yeah.
everything that goes with that. It's just been quite the journey. And I've spoken with Tammy. I was having kind of a little crisis there, trying to figure out what to do, which direction to go.
Sure. Sure.
Along with a couple of other mediums, Veronica, Drake as well.
Mm-hmm.
But Tammy, it was when I was watching her videos and listening to her, it was like, holy crap. If I could do what she's doing, I would sound just like her. So it was almost like
Yeah.
talking to myself or hearing myself. And when I talked to her, she basically changed my life for the better. And
Oh wow.
yeah, and helped me be brave enough to get where I'm at, which is, it's still a struggle, but it's a much better place. Even though it's a struggle, it's not, bad shit stopped happening.
Oh
I
my gosh,
have,
that's huge.
yes, I've read your book. I've read, or no, I'm in the middle of your book, and I read Eric's book, and I've even passed on audio versions of it to friends. And he's pranked me a couple times.
Oh,
Once,
what did he do?
once I was I was talking about him to a friend. We were at a bar having a beer, and I went to reach for a cigarette, and my lighter flew off the table. And she goes, "You didn't touch that lighter." I go, "I know. I bet." And we were talking about Eric, so I don't know for sure.
Oh,
But
and you were
that
you had been talking about.
we
Oh
were
yeah.
talking about him. I was talking to. We were talking about the audiobook that I had given her and to listen to, and she was being blown away. We were laughing and talking about it, and then all of a sudden, so I'm assuming, but I don't know for sure. I
Oh,
like to think so.
that he's done that to us too. Salt and pepper
Right?
just fly off the table.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
He's
that
just
was kind of a
Eric, you are just an attention whore, baby.
yeah.
But his book is the best. I mean, I
It is.
loved
It
his.
is.
Oh
It
my
is.
God, it's a page turner. All right, so tell me. Well, I don't want to interrupt your story. Go ahead, and
No,
then.
that's the short of the version of it. So
Okay, all
yeah.
right. So
So let's
so
change the
how
subject.
did you get to the point where we are here together on Zoom?
Oh, because I pester Tammy to death.
Oh, you sound like you've learned some bad habits from Eric.
Probably, but I was talking. She responds. That's her fault.
Yeah, there we go.
I respond to everybody who writes me.
Yeah.
Every single person individually, I respond to. So do you, Elisa. It's a way of touching somebody's heart and connecting and saying you matter.
Yes, of course.
Wonderful. Amazing.
So, Rebecca, let's change your life again, honey.
Let's do it.
What do you want to know? How do you want to use this time, this little bit of time that we have, to help you change your life, to think of something differently, to tap into the truth inside of you that you know, but you're not aware of it right this minute?
I think I would rather it be your call, because I think you're the master, you know. I don't know where to start, to be honest with you.
First of all, I will tell you, I'm never comfortable with that term, although I know I'm doing mastery level work. And I met a Dr. Naram in Jack Canfield's house last week in California. And he looked at me and he said, you are the only woman that I've met in the world that has done as much work as you have done. I call you Superwoman. I was like,
Wow.
Thank you so much. Because he is a master. He can tap your pulse and like within seconds and tell you what you need to know about your body. So he told me this really striking thing that helps me to identify myself. He said, I'm the number one master in the world of the body. You are the number one master of psychology and the emotions. And I went, wow. So Rebecca, let's just use some of my abilities here. So I know that you are going through transition, and I also know that you vacillate.
What is?
You vacillate.
Waver back and forth.
You're going up and down into a place of ease and knowing where you're going. And then when you vacillate, it's like going into a gully. It's like going into the mud, hitting rock bottom. Can you talk about one of those times that you know you're not in a good place? Because typically, and just for the audience, this is a woman who is hyper loving, kind, generous, thoughtful, looking at the bright side of things. But even in that, we are human beings and we all have our issues. So can you name something that you have gone through where you know you're kind of hitting bottom, and what your thoughts are?
Well, probably my marriage. I've known my soon-to-be ex since we were 11 and 12. And we were always friends, but we separated ways for a long time, came back together. We had such similar stories. And at the time, we had so much in common. It felt like we were soulmates, twin flames, something like that. There was an energetic connection when we would get together. But as the years went on, and ultimately all that love turned to disrespect, and he would teach his kids that, and I helped raise them, you know, since they were little bitty, and all the way up to now. And it just felt like everybody was turning on me, and just because of my belief system was different. And I wasn't trying to jam it down anybody's throat, but I'm like, don't make fun of me, don't disrespect for me for that. And that was just one part of it, the disrespect. But it was like, that's the ultimate to me, is when you disrespect somebody just because. I don't believe in hate. I don't believe in, I'm not saying I never hated, never say, you know what I'm saying? I'm normal. I have emotions. I've been angry. I've been pissed. But
of course.
But I think that's the ultimate low for me, was going, how could this be? You know, after all, you know, and I don't want to be like, after all I've done for you, you know, I don't want to be that person. But it's also, but it's true, you know?
Yeah.
Because I gave it everything I had. And
but you know
still
what?
do, you know?
I'm wondering, and you know, Tammy or Eric or whoever can answer this, I'm wondering if this was part of the spiritual contract of that relationship, to test your belief system and how truly you believed, you know, because it was being questioned and disrespected. I don't know.
And to say one thing about that, I used to tease my kids all the time that I must have been a huge asshole in past life, because this one's kicked my ass. But
I know.
But that was my way to make it funny, you know. That was, I'm a humor freak, so you know. And anyway, go ahead, Tammy.
You and I seem a lot alike, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible, but you know, sometimes divorces occur because, well, you know, mission accomplished. This, maybe you were soulmates, or I don't know, whatever, but you were meant to be together, and then, you know, the contract had been honored and it's time to move on. Sometimes it gives a little peace and comfort when you're going through a divorce to feel, to know, to understand that way.
Absolutely.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Go. Somebody who knows what they're talking about. Talk.
You're brilliant, Elisa. Don't ever
Let's
say
go,
that.
sweetheart.
Well, you better tell my kids and husband that.
What I want you to do is, for all of your viewers as well as you, Rebecca, whenever you have an intuitive sitting in front of you, giving you information, I want you to feel it. I want you to quantify it. I want you to validate it or not. You don't give your power away to people like me. I don't let people take their power or give me their power. I constantly have people coming up to me and asking me questions, and I'll say, I'm not answering that because you already know the answer.
Oh, wow.
And I kind of get frustrated, but then they'll say out loud, okay, this, and I'll go, see, I'm not going to empower you. So,
I've seen you do that.
Yeah. When I do those things, then I want you to validate or feel within. Don't just take somebody else's word for it.
Right.
So I'm going to tell you from an inner guidance perspective and an intuitive abilities, I'm going to read the situation and give you some clarity. And then you tell the audience and me and Elisa whether or not this resonates, okay?
Okay.
At the juncture that you met your husband, you were not the same, but you thought you were.
True. Very
so
true.
when you met him, you thought, you're in the same place as me. We understand each other. We have a camaraderie. We are going through some of the same things. We've been through some of the same struggles. I love that you're already tearing up. I love you so much.
Aww.
I feel you right here. It's so weird. I love you too.
Now you're going to have me crying because this is the heart workshop. This is the heart connection with people. It's an honor. It's truly an honor to be with you and to be with Elisa. So let me go forward.
Sorry.
Get emotional. It's okay.
Aww.
So when you met him and you thought we're equal, we're at the same place, you didn't know that you were actually choosing him for the reason to growth. I tell people constantly that the biggest opportunity for growth is in intimate relationships. You're reminding me of me with a husband that I had, and I've had a few.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's number 3.
I think that's why I'm so qualified to write books on relationships, because I've had 4 marriages and 4 divorces. I know a thing or two. So what happened with my 3rd marriage, my 2nd one was only 6 weeks, so it really wasn't a marriage. The 3rd one I was with for less than 6 years. And what happened with him, and I write about this in the book, is that I was growing and he was choosing not to grow. And he wanted to latch on and hold on to me and have me be a part of his life. And it was largely due to I was offering him something that he had never had before. So in a case like that, when you are growing and you are choosing to grow and he is not, then a gap starts forming, and then suddenly the rubber band breaks or the grounding breaks and the foundation is cracked, and then it completely falls apart. That's like having an earthquake come into your life, but it's gradual. And because it's so gradual, you don't realize that it is occurring from the moment that you get married. And it's really what we think marriage is about, and what marriage is really about isn't the same thing.
Yeah.
Marriage is about growth. Marriage is about your spiritual journey. Marriage is about having that person conspiring with you to help you grow. If you can move to a place of restfulness, knowing I did do enough, I did give enough, it is complete, it is done, I chose to grow, you didn't, the gap formed, and then eventually just broke, then you can accept. The biggest thing that I see in you is that you are looking at this as a possibility of failure, or that you did something wrong, or that you didn't do something that you could have, should have, would have. Is this accurate?
True. Accurate. Spot on. Yeah.
So I'm going to show you how to tap into the heart energy for everyone who is going through these kinds of struggles. The world, and especially when I went through my first divorce, which was, 20-something years ago, and I had been married 21 years. It's all I knew. All of my memories were tied up in this man and my children. So, and then you find yourself in the world, and people don't want to know about what you did in Walt Disney World and what you did with your kids. You can't say, oh, I went there with my, you don't want to know about my husband. So I went to Walt Disney World with my kids. The whole thing, the whole structure of your life is difficult, and especially when there's guilt, blame, or shame. So you feel the truth of this, right? You feel that it's done. And Elisa, you touched on this. You know, the contract is done. It's time to move on. But when you feel that I should have done more, I could have done more, then it's like you're dragging all of the things that occurred into the future. I remember breaking down really bad after my first marriage, after about 8 years, and saying, I should have saved it, but I couldn't. And I wasn't supposed to save it. But that guilt from, I was an older soul. I knew better. Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I stand up? Why didn't I make him respect me? You know, you can't go back. You're not supposed to.
No.
So it's a higher purpose to connect with your heart energy in this moment and say, what did I really do this for? And how can I use it in the future? Now, can you feel that switch already?
Yes.
And then that negates the need for, I should have, I could have, I didn't do this right, I made mistakes. Are you perfect? No. Are you supposed to be perfect? No. If any of my husbands would have been perfect for me, I would not have grown in the way that I did.
Right.
So you can honor what you and your husband have experienced by saying, it is enough. There's nothing lacking in this. It is enough. So how would you like to tap into that heart energy and give yourself permission to let this go?
Absolutely. Yes, please.
Okay, so I'm just going to guide you in something to say, and you just repeat after me verbatim or in your own vernaculars, okay? Again, don't give your power away to anybody else, but if it resonates, do it. If it doesn't, say it your way, okay? So let's just close our eyes for a moment, and you just repeat after me.
Okay.
In this lifetime, my name is Rebecca.
In this lifetime, my name is Rebecca.
And I have been beating myself up
And I have been beating myself up
for feeling that I could have or should have done something better
for feeling that I could have or should have done something better
in my marriage.
in my marriage.
I know on some level
I know on some level
that it is complete,
that it is complete,
but I'm used to self-abuse in some ways.
but I'm used to self-abuse in some things.
And I lay that down today.
And I laid that down today.
That does not serve me.
That does not serve me.
I don't have to beat myself up anymore.
I don't have to beat myself up anymore.
I just get to get up and move forward.
I just get to get up and move forward.
And whatever struggles I have been creating,
And whatever struggles I have been creating,
whether conscious or unconscious,
whether conscious or unconscious,
in the resolution of this divorce,
in the resolution of this divorce,
I forgive myself and him.
I forgive myself and him.
Now I want you to look at me, and I want you to repeat this, if this resonates. Tammy and Elisa, I'm coming out.
Tammy and Elisa are coming out.
I don't know exactly who I am yet,
I don't know exactly who I am yet,
but I do know what I have done didn't work.
but I do know what I have done did not work.
So I am letting you ladies know,
So I'm letting you ladies know,
and anybody else who sees this video,
and anybody else who sees this video,
I give myself permission
I give myself permission
to be all of me.
to be all of me.
And I need some help from the non-physical
And I need some help from the non-physical
to know who I am.
to know who I am.
Thank you for helping me
Thank you for helping me
and show me how to stand in my power.
and showing me how to stand in my power.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Rebecca, how do you
Yes,
feel?
ma'am. Amazing. My heart overfloweth.
Yeah.
I can tell you have a lot of power,
Oh,
not all of which has been claimed, but you're getting there.
Trying. I have a lot of
Yeah.
help on the other side.
That's good. We all need as much as we can. But you know what? What also helps for me, and maybe not for everybody, but this when you go through something difficult is to, understand that it could be a spiritual contract and sort of find out what teachable moments precious nuggets of information or knowledge or wisdom you got from it, because there always is in everything that is difficult or tragic or just
somebody asked me
challenging.
today because I'm on
Yeah.
dating sites,
Yeah,
and somebody asked me
yeah,
the
you
other
can
day,
then when you find that those nuggets of wisdom and knowledge, then you can express gratitude for them. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much. And then boosh, you can let go of the suffering. I surrender. I'm grateful. Anyway, that works for me. I don't know if it works for everybody, but
she cut out for just a second. I think your internet's cutting in and out. I was going to say that I'm on dating sites, and I had this striking conversation with a guy here in Dallas. I'm here babysitting my grands, and Bumble tracks you. So everywhere I go, I get hit. It's like fresh meat. Look at her.
Oh no! Oh God!
Hit on it. And so this one guy, hyper spiritual, and he said, "You're an intuitive. Why didn't you know any better?" And I said, "You need to understand something. I have a contract to be here too. And the biggest opportunity that I have for growth is to experience intimate relationships and learn from each one. If I thwarted that and I read the person, which I don't do because it's disrespect, and it puts me at an advantage and them at a disadvantage, I don't want to know what my growth opportunity is until I'm living it. I don't want to thwart that. So it's more about understanding that even for those of us that are teachers, I can't teach something I haven't learned because there's no power in it. I can tell you the spiritual law, but if it's just up here and it's superficial and I really haven't learned it, I really haven't overcome it, there's no power in it. So Rebecca, most people are really confused about this. And they're very confused about why they would put themselves in the position to be with somebody that really doesn't resonate. We do it on purpose.
Right.
I met the guy named Ken that stole every dime I had.
Oh.
I also say that I paid very well to become an alchemist. If it hadn't been for him stealing every single thing that I had, would I have become an alchemist? No. So we all put ourselves in the position to grow. And if you look at it from that purpose and you step into that power, then you're connecting with the heart energy, and then you can move forward. And then you can, like I'm going to say, thank you so much. Namaste. I love you. I can't thank you enough for what you contributed. Now I need to go and figure out what did I learn because of you. And that way you're honoring the relationship. And there's nothing unfinished. It's a different kind of closure. You see that?
I do.
Yeah.
And your book helped me a lot too. I read your book as well, and I highly recommend all of them. And that did teach me so much. It really did. Oh, eye opener after eye opener. It's like,
Did you see the point in the inmate and the medium that I realized that I was not going to have what I wanted when I started walking into prison? And I said out loud in the book, in the prison visitation, I said, it is no longer about the relationship.
Yes.
It is about this journey. Yes. And when I made that shift, I was no longer in pain because this inmate is so narcissistic behaviorally that it was only about him.
Right.
Because I switched it, got into power and said, I know that this relationship is over, but I'm already married to you. And as soon as I finish the journey, snap, it's done. And that is exactly what happened. So I can't thank him enough for being such a contributor to my life and being in the prison and meeting this guy that he introduced me to that took everything in order for me to be able to stand in front of people and say, I didn't even know where my next meal was coming from. Mm. And so you saw yourself in this book, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for recommending it. I appreciate that very much.
The inmate and the medium.
Yes, that's right. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of the name of it right off the bat. It's brilliant, all of it.
Good. And now I'm writing a series of books about relationships and how to have relationships from a much higher wisdom perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right, ladies.
I can't wait. I can't wait. Thank you both so much.
Oh, you bet. And thank you for sharing, something painful, but also something that has a sweet future to it. So
And we can help anybody. That's the brilliant part of it.
yeah. Okay. So Tammy is going to have her event. You want to tell about the event in October?
Yes, the event is learning how to tap into the heart energy so that once you get to the truth is in the heart. The truth is, and I'm going to tell you something interesting, is that the chakra systems that science is now catching up with the spiritual people and understanding, we really do have 7 major chakra systems. The one that is from the heart, the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown are actually spiritual. The ones that are below the chest, below the heart energy, is 3D reality and survival here.
Right.
And if you understand that, which chakra system am I in? Am I in survival? Am I in trying to create something here? Am I, when you switch, because the balance is that infinity symbol that is like this of spirit and physical, and that little dot that connects is where the master lives, where you're neutral and you understand that there's both. There's both good, bad, right, wrong, health, sickness, everything we experience here. When we're fighting experiencing it, resisting the reason that it is occurring.
Right.
And that is for growth.
That's great. And when is your event?
It's actually my birthday weekend.
Oh,
happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
I'm like 60. What has happened here?
I know, time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
When you're evolving.
And your body is doing what you said. Wait a minute, I didn't give you permission to do that. What's happening here?
I know.
I know that. And I know you know it.
So that's going to be
It's going to be in your house the 11th, Friday night from, I think, 7 to 9:30. All day Saturday, 9 to 5. Sunday, 10 to 12. And I'm going to be working with you individually. We're going to go into more depth than what we were able to here. But you saw a very quick response of me giving intuitive information and guiding you to your truth, which is what is in your heart. That connects you with the spirit side of you, which is the highest good. And then you balance living here with good, bad, right, wrong. If you understand that and you get that inner guidance, you can quickly tap into the heart energy and get your own answers. And once you get it, Rebecca, you don't want to get out of that heart energy, right?
Right. Yes.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Okay, ladies.
All right, so I will give the links, etc., and all the information on a regular basis. I'm definitely going to do it when I post this video, so you guys know what to click on to, to join either remotely or in person. And we are going to have Paula Marino from Aqua Marina Studios. She's going to be filming a documentary at that time, and she will film the event. You don't have to be filmed. It's okay. But if you want to be a part of that, that's kind of cool, huh?
Yes.
All right. So thank you, ladies.
There's going to be free gifts, too, Elisa.
Ooh, I didn't know that. All right, good.
Yeah. So you'll get sessions with me if you attend remotely or in person. There's a book and remote sessions that are going to be given to the remote viewers and the in-person attendees. So,
all right. Sounds great. Thank you, ladies. Bye.
Thank y'all. Bye.
Bye-bye.